You saw garbage. That means
it
it
was
was thrown out.
everywhere. It was everywhere.
It was thrown out
Oh yeah.
since they mowed.
Oh yeah. It's unbelievable. I don't understand.
See, and I have a
How-
different approach than you do because I'm the guy that if I see people throw stuff out, I'll follow them and put it back in their car.
I know.
So
you
I could
told
end
me
up
that.
getting shot probably.
You're like I am with the panhandlers.
Oh, don't get me started on those guys either.
Yeah.
I'm not in a good mood with them right now either.
Yeah. It's an ever increasing problem.
It's going to be a problem for me because I'll need bail money the next
Well-
time I get accosted by a homeless person.
It was actually I was driving over to Denellen yesterday afternoon. I had to go to their city council workshop, and I mean you can see where they are right there at 40 and 75. You can see the trash that's left behind.
On the overpass, under the underpass and everything. It's ridiculous.
Well, and that's a safety issue. As
Of
well.
course it is. Of course it is. I saw a guy at the underpass at 27 and 75 2 days ago trying to push a shopping buggy up the concrete incline to the top of the underpass. And I'm like, what happens if that shopping car, he loses control of that shopping car? It's out in traffic causing a major traffic accident.
We used to have them so bad at 484 and I-75.
Oh, yeah.
They would camp out on that concrete.
Right.
And they would have grills set up. And I just was,
Like it's a swap meet. We're having hamburgers and stuff.
And the one that really got me, one day I was coming through there and there was a lady there's that concrete divider between the Okay.
No, go ahead.
Go
Finish
ahead.
your story.
Okay,
But
there's a
put the
con-
headset in because you're going to have to hear somebody on the
I'm
phone in a
gonna-
minute.
Oh, you're going to mess my hair up today?
Look, it's your constituents are calling. So finish your story so we get to the phone line.
Anyway, the lady was sitting straddling the concrete divider between the traffic that was going through probably at 45, 50 miles an hour and the concrete incline there underneath the bridge. And it freaked me out a little bit because I'm thinking, what happens if she falls
If she
into
loses her
traffic?
balance,
She was
fall
on the
into traffic.
phone, not paying any attention.
Here's what happens. She's dead, and she's
And the
scarred
person-
somebody's life forever.
Right.
That's what happens.
That's what happens.
Don't get me started on that. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning. You're on with County Commissioner Kathy Bryant.
Good morning, Commissioner. My big thing is why isn't code enforcing going out and handing out tickets to people that are going to places like Martell Recycling Center for uncovered loads? They cut down tree bushes or whatever, or even load up with garbage. I don't know why they wind up with so much garbage unless they save it up for a year. But anyway, it's not covered. They hit a bump or something, and there's stuff falling out all over the place. And I don't see anybody enforcing the code enforcement laws.
Thanks for the
I
call.
mean, there are laws.
Yeah, there are.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for the call, Sonny. Sonny makes a good point, Kathy.
No, absolutely. And that is an area that we identified several years ago that was a problem, and we put up extra signage. We put up extra signage along the routes that we know a lot of these vehicles travel. The problem is you have to catch them in you have to catch them in the act.
Right.
Somebody can't just call and say, "Oh, I saw, XYZ
Truck number so-and-so going down 40 an hour ago with his load uncovered. You need to go write him a ticket.
Correct. And that's the problem that law enforcement has as well. I can't take a video of somebody littering and give it to law enforcement. They actually have to witness it themselves.
Well, then what about I'll just take video next time.
I don't think that
As I'm driving down the road.
As you're
one
driving
hand
down
on
the road,
thing,
yeah, that'd be
I'll
great.
take video. I'm not violent. Oh, yeah, I am violating the law. Never
You
mind.
are, so I'm going to highly recommend that you don't
Do not
that.
do that. I'm kidding, folks. Do not do that. But a lot of cars now come with the cameras that show in front and back. Especially a lot of the rideshare services and all. And I had a guy with the rideshare service. He said he literally we were talking about the task force. He literally took his video from his rideshare car and took it to the Ocala police because he followed it. The same car. He sees it on a regular basis, and it decides it's fast food stuff. Always needs to be thrown out on 10th, in between Pine and the S curve. The guy says he sees his car throw out garbage all the time.
And what
so
did
he took the video to the police.
and what did they say?
The police took the video. I mean, he didn't say that he said they would look into it. And I mean, what can the police say?
Right.
They'll just look into it. So we got a lot to talk about, though, so let's get started.
Okay. What do you want to talk about today?
Well, I love that the Planning and Zoning Board and the County Commission are doing everything within your power to make sure that our housing shortage gets addressed on a almost daily basis. I'm very excited about that.
Well, I will tell you that there are so many applications coming through that we've now added an additional day to our schedule each month for planning and zoning. As you know, our last planning and zoning hearing in September, our morning, we had our regular board meeting at 9. We broke for lunch. We were back at 1:50 on some CRA business, and then we started our public hearing at 2 in the afternoon, and we didn't get done until 11:15 that night.
That's why you make the big bucks, Kathy.
Let me tell you what, that was a very long day. And I'll tell people, after about 6 o'clock, it's extremely difficult when you've listened to that much and you've heard that much public comment. You have to really focus to stay focused. And I think that, I think it's important that everyone gets heard and is given a fair shot at whatever side of the fence they're on. And so therefore, we've decided that we are going to go to two days now. We've had an additional day on planning and zoning hearings.
Which is good because we're almost in an emergency need. People don't.
Yes.
We can say it till we're blue in the face and people may not grasp it, but there are not enough housing for the number of people that are moving into the greatest county in the state of Florida that we have.
Yeah.
More people are moving here on a regular basis than we have housing for. Affordable and single family dwelling, multiple family dwellings. We're behind. We are. That's just fact.
Yes, we are. And, there's a lot but here's the thing that people have to remember too. Just because these things are being approved today doesn't mean they're going to be up tomorrow.
No, it takes a while to build some things.
It takes quite some time. And as we all know, there is a shortage of product out there.
Yep, product, employees.
All of it. And all of it is a contributing factor to what's happening now as far as the escalating prices in homes, actually escalating prices in everything. I'm very concerned about what's happening.
Well, people want to lay it at the foot of COVID. All this started with COVID-19. We were clicking along good, and then COVID came, and that's why there's no, hard to get employees, hard to get product and everything. It's sitting out in the Gulf just waiting to be unloaded, blah, blah, blah. But they always want to see the negative in COVID. But we have some very good news with COVID in our county.
We do. Our numbers have decreased.
We're under 10% for the first time in a very long time.
Yes, we actually hit below 10% for the first time since July. Do you realize that?
We're talking about positivity rates.
Positivity rates. And so we saw an average of 87.7 new cases per day and a positivity rate of 9.1% between September 24th and September 30th. So, our hospitalizations are down. Our caseload is down.
The public school system, their caseloads are down.
I think they were down 50%, if I remember reading
51%.
that. 51%. Yeah. I read that in the Star Banner the other day.
Yep. But are we still doing, does the county still have testing sites up and stuff like that if people need to still have the desire to get tested?
Yes. We are still doing COVID-19 testing at the Southeastern Livestock Pavilion. And the dates we've already passed 2 of them. The October 4th, October 6th. Our last day for testing at the Livestock Pavilion will be October the 11th. And now we're doing testing at the Florida Agricultural Center and Horse Park. That testing is a drive-through testing, and it's available from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And that location is 11008 South Highway 475 in Ocala. If you do go out there and you need to be tested, we ask that you enter through the County Road 475 public entrance. If you need more information, please call the Marion County Health Department at 352-644-2590.
Something that I don't know what it is. Because when I think ERA, I think Equal Rights Amendment, 1975, that should have got passed if you believe that women should be equal to men, which I believe you should be.
I was worried what you were about to say.
Look, my wife has
I know your wife.
My wife has handguns, okay? She's more than equal.
You're going to be in trouble.
No. Women should get, to me, if you do the job, you should get the equal pay that a man gets. That's just you do the job. I don't care what your gender is. You should get the money that everybody would get for that job. So, but this isn't the ERA we're talking about.
No.
Emergency rental assistance. What is that?
So the Emergency Rental Assistance Program is a program that's been funded with our CARES Act money or through the American. We didn't do any of that with the American
The money
Rescue
Washington
Plan.
gave us.
It was our federal money that came down, and it wasn't all used before. So it's actually been distributed back to the United Way, and they've approved and funded 1,230 applications, 886 Marion County households, for a total of $6,110,801. These are people that are not able to pay their rent because of COVID. Take for example, husband and wife get COVID, they're out of work for a couple of weeks.
If you live paycheck to paycheck, that could be debilitating.
It can be very debilitating.
It could make you homeless. It really could.
Absolutely. And so this money is being administered through the United Way. The average amount of assistance is $5,032.
$5,032.
It covers rent and utilities.
That's pretty good. And look, I'm not for the welfare system the way it's designed. But this system here, the emergency rental assistance, is exactly how it was originally thought to be designed in the 30s and 40s, where if you come up a little short, we help you as other citizens of this community and the citizens of the United States. We help other citizens that are trying to help themselves but come up a little short. And that's what this does. If you're both out of work because COVID hits you, that's not your fault. That's an illness. So I think as Americans, we should reach out and help those people. I'm not saying just sit on your rear end and do nothing and get money.
No. And there is as it states, there is an application process. And you're exactly right. This program has been put in place to help people who get caught in unforeseen circumstances and they need a little help. This isn't a program that's going to continue.
It's not long term.
It's not long term. It's temporary, just to help those that are struggling due to a COVID-related incident.
So it's through the United Way.
It's through the United Way.
And there is an application process, so you got to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Absolutely. And, based on the information that we've received, United Way projects to receive enough applications to fully expend the $9,736,318 received from the county for direct assistance. It's being run on a first-come, first-served basis. So that means that priority is not set by when people register. It's when they have their application complete and ready for review and processing.
Well, I need that. I lost $600 a week in trivia because of COVID. I'm broke. I need to go get my mortgage paid for the next, 18 months.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that.
Hey, let's talk about.
And you also have to be under the median household income to receive
which
this
we're
assistance.
not. So
So yeah.
Hey, let's talk about. It's October 7th.
October 7th.
Fiscal year started October 1st.
It did.
So that means there must be a budget in place.
There is a budget in place.
Did you get your rollback?
I did not.
Dadgummit.
It's okay.
But you did get a budget in place. Talk about the budget.
So we did finish the county's budget for fiscal year 21-22. Golly.
Yeah, it's going that fast, Kathy.
It's going that fast.
Remember when you were 8 years old and a day took 3 years?
Yeah, an hour
took
3 years.
And now 3 years is gone in a minute and a half.
Absolutely. So yes, we did approve the final budget, and we, although we didn't roll back the millage rate, we did put that money aside to address some of the issues that are being projected to possibly happen in the coming year with everything that's happening all around us. We were able to fully fund all of the budget requests. We were able to fund the sheriff's office request. We were able to fund 2 new transport units for Marion County Fire Rescue. We're looking at some different organizational changes, not organizational, so we are looking at some changes in that transport possibly that will also help us gain more capacity for the citizens of Marion County. And
you were able to you were able to approve in the budget the Marion County Historical Commission's budget.
we
So
were able to
I was very
approve
happy with that. I was very happy with that.
Yes, we were.
Because it's a huge budget we have at the Historical Commission. So I'm glad you were able to approve that.
It
Very
was.
glad.
And, one of the things that we did last week, you'll find of interest, I know that it wasn't on the notes that we sent over, but for the American Recovery Act, we allocated $2 million to go towards CFCC to help with their legislative priority of getting the funding for their new nursing school.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's important for our community as well.
Jim Henningsen said President Jim Henningsen was very excited about the monies that were given to CF to try to get this nursing program to even better heights than it's at right now. Let's talk for a minute about something I talked about early in the week because of how exciting it is for healthcare and people in the Bellevue area. Now they don't have to go to Summerfield or they don't have to go to come into town. There is a 12-bed emergency room in Bellevue that Advent Health just opened.
They did. 13,000 square foot ER. It's the first in Bellevue, which will provide faster access to ER care for Bellevue's population of 5,400 residents. Bellevue
And
has
they can do
5,400
CAT
residents
scans
now.
there. They can do X-rays.
Yes, it officially opens on October 12th and will provide a full-service emergency room that will be open 24/7. It also, will increase response times because when our guys pick somebody up, they're able to go to that ER.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's a trauma ER too. They're going to have a trauma room there. They're going to have a pregnancy room there, a birthing room. It's really a comprehensive emergency room. Now, it's not a trauma 2 emergency room like we have here in town, but it is still an option where you can get health care and emergency health care a lot quicker than you could by having to come all the way into Ocala.
Absolutely. It's a great addition to that community and to the southern portion of our county. And, when you come across the bridge, it's a beautiful facility as
really
well.
Is. It really is. It really is. A lot of people, and I'm guilty of this myself, and I'm glad that's why we have you guys when you come in. You talk county comprehensive, so we do talk Bellevue and Denali, because sometimes, and I'm as guilty as anybody else, we get that Ocala prejudice here where we think it's Ocala and Marion County.
No.
And, we as Ocalans, we like to think, well, we're Ocala, y'all, the rest of y'all, we love you, but you're not Ocala. And that's just not good because Bellevue is a great community. Denellen's a great community. Citra, fantastic community. Reddick, fantastic community. There are fantastic communities all over this place. And the fact that Bellevue now has the ability at emergency room service for its residents, that's a huge, huge move in the right direction, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There seems to be, I saw this item, and I don't know if you know much about it, but there seems to be a little disagreement on the budget was approved. The sheriff decided not to get a mobile command center, but then he said he's going to use he's going to use expenditure, he's going to use his budget and buy one. So now there seems to be a little consternation between the chairman of the county commission and the sheriff because I think Commissioner Gold would rather have had the mobile command center bought the way it usually is done instead of it being part of the sheriff's budget that he's going to allocate funds to buy it now. Where's the disconnect with that issue?
So, I have no idea.
Because it seems like a big disconnect between those two, the sheriff's department and the commissioner, the chairman of the county commission, Jeff Gold.
Yeah, I know as much as you do.
We need a mobile command center. We
that I
definitely need a mobile command center so that you have a backup. That's what this is all about. We're not talking about only having one mobile command center. This is so we'll have two, one and then another one as a backup. Am I correct in that?
You're absolutely correct. And I will say this. I mean, our sales tax was put in place for a reason.
Yes.
And
I voted for it for the reasons of buying stuff like mobile command centers.
Yeah, to fund capital investments for public safety, transportation infrastructure.
That was how it was sold to me, and that's why I voted yes both times.
Yes. So I haven't had a chance to talk to the sheriff. All I know is what I read in the article, the same article that you read, and I believe Commissioner Gold has a point.
I'm not saying Jeff's off here.
I'm not either.
I'm not saying he's off the mark here.
No.
Because the 1 cent sales tax was put in place to buy things like mobile command centers.
Absolutely.
It's not supposed to come out of the sheriff's budget should put more deputies on the road, in my opinion. Shouldn't buy mobile command centers.
Now I would like to have an in-depth conversation with the sheriff to find out where that funding is coming from.
That would probably be a good idea. Being the Shearer County Commissioner, I think he would talk to you about that.
And I'm sure at some point we'll all have that conversation with him.
So now we've talked about quite a bit today. Is there anything we've missed today that you still need to talk about?
Let's see here. Well, one thing. It is October.
It is October.
So any of the ladies that are listening, you know what you need to do.
It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Absolutely.
My favorite shirt I've ever seen, it was sold by Rondo Fernandez.
Uh-oh.
It's a pink shirt. Save second base.
There you go.
To me, it was the greatest breast cancer awareness shirt ever. Save second base. Because my mother was a breast cancer survivor.
Yeah.
I know that Commissioner Stone is a breast cancer survivor.
Yes.
So it is something that somebody who's been affected by breast cancer.
Absolutely.
And my friends Carrie and Mark Campo, we just had a benefit for them last weekend. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. A week later, he was diagnosed with colon cancer.
Oh, my.
Husband and wife. Cancer's a SOB.
It is.
It's a SOB.
We all know someone right now fighting that battle.
All of us.
So
my buddy Ben Fritz now.
Absolutely.
Fighting cancer all over his body.
Right. Hey, he got good news, though.
He did get great news.
That was awesome.
He did get great news. Kathy, tell people tell the people the schedule of commission meetings so they can come and be a part if they want to.
Sure. Marion County Commission meetings are held on the first and third Tuesday of each month. Our regular board meeting is held at 9 a.m. and then planning and zoning items are heard starting at 2 p.m.
And we're going to have 2 of those now.
We're going to have 2 of those.
Kathy, thanks for coming by. See you in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back after this short timeout. This is 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Wednesday night, President Obama appointed U.S. District Judge Robert Pittman blocked SB 8. That's Texas heartbeat law banning abortions after the baby's heartbeat is detected. It should be noted the Supreme Court declined to halt SB 8 by a 5-4 vote at the beginning of September. The debate continues. According to Johns Hopkins University, more Americans have died from COVID-19 complications under the Biden administration with a vaccine than did under President Trump without a public vaccine program. Then candidate Biden at the final presidential debate.
220,000 Americans dead. You hear nothing else I say tonight. Hear this. Anyone who's responsible for not taking control, in fact, not saying I take no responsibility initially. Anyone who's responsible for that many deaths should not remain as President of the United States of America.
USA Radio News.
What will you do if there's a sudden food shortage? Given recent headlines, it seems likely, and at any moment. That's why it makes common sense to build your emergency food storage supply now, while you still can. Do it with the kind of food that stays fresh for up to 25 years in storage. Food that doesn't go bad like what you get at the grocery store. Whose food should you trust? The largest preparedness company in America, My Patriot Supply. We've served millions of Americans